Hello. So we got a lot of news today. 4 men were indicted under a grand jury for child abuse. All stemming out of Pennsylvania. They'd moved across the eastern region of the United States. They were extradited from those locations, or arrested in those locations. I'm not sure if they're extradited yet. And the investigation is ongoing, which we'll get to. The investigation's ongoing. And that's great news. Because how 4 men amassed 19 victims is beyond me. That's 19 victims is like crazy. Like, the only way they could get out of it for that long in order to get that many victims is a lot of secrecy, which we'll also get to. So here's the thing. They made it a point in these press hearings and releases to point out that these were all Jehovah's Witnesses. They made it a point to point that out. But, you know, the thing is, it wouldn't have been that way. They wouldn't have been called out like they were if they had reported. There is such a thing as forensic nursing and forensic psychology, HIPAA, privacy, all the things. It never would have come up if it had been handled. The nurse at the hospital is not going to run around screaming to everybody, "This is a Jehovah's Witness who was raped by another Jehovah's Witness, and I'm going to tell everybody," because that's the way that these good little soldiers that I've spoken to that have actually tried to make excuses for this stuff, that's the kind of thing that they insist is going to happen. But it never would have happened because that is a very, very secretive private investigation. If it is, then everybody involved has the absolute right to call them out. And somebody is getting in a world of trouble. Okay? Now, the fact that this happened on such a scale as it did is why they're making it public. Because it's a big deal. They used their faith and their position of trust and their position of authority to acquire victims. They had documentation of meetings where the elders sat down and talked about it with them. And they didn't report it. They did not report it. They can say all they want that they report it as required by law, but they don't. And this guy is very clearly indicating that this is not over. Their investigation is ongoing. Let's go over what the Pennsylvania law says, because I wrote down the reference. The Child Protection Services law. We're looking at section 6311, item A and 6. Clergy, rabbi, faith healers, spiritual leaders, anybody. Like, anybody. And at one point they even tried to say that they were excluded from reporting because it violated HIPAA. Well, guess what? Even the doctors who are under HIPAA and not some horse crap defense, like absolute full on, you have got to be smarter than this. Like, how do you put your pants on in the morning defense? It's HIPAA, because we're even the doctors, anybody in a position of faith, trust, specifically mentioned, teachers, delivery guys. But yeah, religious entities in general are required to report. And mandated reporters can't report anonymously either, because if something happens, they have to be able to say, I did my due diligence. I report it. You are not allowed to go to a payphone and report it anonymously. Anybody else can report it anonymously. But mandated reporters have to give their actual name and address and all that stuff. Specifically so they know that people weren't hiding things when it should have been reported. But yeah, 6311A6. When they say the investigation is not over, they're going after Watchtower, man. Elders first. Elders are going to throw it on the service department. Service department is going to be like, I'm anonymous. We're not giving my name. They're going to fight with it. They're going to do all kinds of dumb bull crap. Like, it's going to get ugly. But they're not done. They have documented proof that these guys knew about what was going on. They got it. They already know about it. You're not fooling anybody. So this is big, guys. And I'm really kind of excited to see where this goes. But they're going to be exposed for a lot. And I'm really excited.